Well, I think it went into the right direction, that's for sure. I mean, Albarak, for example, he announced support for the banking sector in view of the expected wave of payment defaults as a result of the large share of foreign currency debt. So that certainly is a positive. What is limiting the effect, however, is that details are still missing as regards the exact measures that will be taken and the program overall. But as I said, it's certainly a step into the right direction that the Ministry of Finance has these problems tackled.
When it comes to the currency outlook, though, do you think these steps are enough to try and halt the weakness we've seen in the lira, or do you expect it to continue?
No, it certainly is not sufficient because really all of this is not going to make any difference if monetary policy particularly does not continue to fight inflation actively, that is with rate hikes that do not just react to a foreseeable rise in inflation, but actually overcompensate for it. Yeah, I mean, yes, the rate hike that we saw recently by the central bank, it helped to stabilize the currency, but it will certainly not be enough to cause a sustainable recovery.
I had a quick question about the kind of crisis of confidence there is in Turkey. I mean, surely that's the biggest contributor to the way that the currency has behaved. I mean, apart from raising interest rates at a very rapid rate, I mean, what is the most tangible thing they could do in the next few weeks to address this?
And it's not the rate step as such. I mean, the amount of it certainly was sufficient to compensate for the foreseeable rise in inflation. But I think what will be decisive is if they can continue to hike interest rates in order to rein in inflation. So is this going to be a one-off, or are they able to continue rising interest rates with inflation continuing to rise? That, I think, is the decisive question. So we may see recovery in the lira only once the central bank hikes interest rates again, and that by a significant amount.
And Thu Lan, what will that do to the economy, though? Because there are limits to just how far they can go in interest rate hikes until it has a negative impact on growth. And I think about the banks as well, because I did see many seemed a bit disappointed that we didn't get more information on a plan to help some of these banks recover.
I mean, sure. There's always a trade-off, obviously, but I think of the consequences if the central bank would not do it. I mean, there would be no end to the currency crisis, obviously, and that would be even worse for the economy. Balance of payment crisis certainly would be much worse for the economy than sustained higher interest rates. And also, on the other hand, we have obviously the government coming in here. As I said, the finance minister yesterday did announce support for the banking sector, and that helps monetary policy to focus on fighting inflation.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now, to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.